You know that t-shirt you've got on? Chances are it's been on a wild ride. I'm talking thousands of miles, dozens of high-tech steps, just to get to you. See, it's not just fabric. It's this amazing story of ancient farming smashing right into modern robotics. So, you want to unravel it with me?
Yeah, every single t-shirt really does tell a story, and it's an epic one. It starts as this tiny seed, maybe in the soil of West Africa or India. Then it travels to a super high-tech mill, maybe in China. And finally, it crosses an entire ocean to land in a store right near you. It's this incredible, complex dance between the sun, the soil, and, well, us.
So you're ready? Let's follow that thread, literally. We're going to uncover all the secrets hidden inside this fabric we see every single day. I mean, this is a material that hasn't just clothed us for thousands of years. It has shaped entire empires and economies. It's a pretty big deal.
All right, first up, the fabric of our lives. To really understand cotton's role today, we got to hit the rewind button. Because this isn't just some random fiber. Nope, it's a thread that's literally woven through centuries of our history. We're talking ancient trade routes, all the way to massive industrial revolutions.
Okay, check this out. For thousands of years, cotton was like a total luxury, super exclusive. But then, 1794, the cotton gin is invented. And this one machine, it's kind of simple really, just explodes production. It basically kicks off the entire industrial revolution. And today? Well, we're at another one of those big turning points, trying to figure out how to make this ancient fiber work for our modern, sustainable world.
Okay, from history to the farm. Let's step away from the factories and the machines for a second. Our story really begins way, way earlier, out in a hot, sun-drenched field with a humble little cotton plant.
So let's meet the star of the show, the cotton plant, which is part of a family called Gossypium. Just think of it like a sunbather. It absolutely loves warm, tropical-like climates, lots of heat, lots of sunshine. And that's exactly why the world's cotton belt stretches across all these warm regions. Places like the US South, India, China, Brazil, you get the idea.
Okay, so when it comes to actually growing cotton, there's this major fork in the road. It's a really big deal. You can go the conventional route, right? That means using genetically engineered seeds to fight off pests and weeds, plus synthetic fertilizers. Or you can take the organic path. We're talking non-GMO seeds, using natural stuff like compost, crop rotation, and even bringing in good bugs to fight the bad ones. This is a huge debate, and it's really shaping the future of the whole industry.
So after the plant flowers, it creates this green pod, which is called a ball. And inside that ball, well, that's where the magic happens. These fluffy white fibers just burst out. It's amazing. And once the fields look like a sea of white clouds, these huge mechanical harvesters roll in. They collect tons and tons of this raw fluff, and then it's all whisked away to a gin to get its first big cleaning.
All right, so the seeds are out, the cotton's clean, now it gets shipped off to a textile mill. And this is where the real alchemy begins. It's like an industrial magic show, turning all that raw fluff into the strong, amazing fabrics we all wear. And just to give you an idea of the sheer scale we're talking about, get this. The raw cotton is compressed into these enormous bales. Each one weighs about 225 kilograms, or nearly 500 pounds. I mean, that is heavier than a full-grown gorilla. And these bales, they are the basic building blocks for the entire global cotton industry. Wow.
So how in the world do you get fabric from a giant bale of fluff? Well, first, machines with these huge combs, called carding machines, align all the fibers into this thick, soft rope. They call it a sliver. Kind of cool. Then that sliver gets stretched and twisted at insane speeds until it becomes yarn. And from there, you've got a choice. You can weave it to make tough fabrics like denim, or you can knit it to make that super soft, stretchy jersey for your favorite t-shirt.
Okay, so the fabric is made, but it's not done yet. It's basically a blank canvas. And now comes a stage called wet processing. This is where all the color gets added, where it's softened up, and where it gets cool properties like being wrinkle resistant. The thing is, this step can use a ton of water and chemicals. And that's a big reason why innovators are in this huge race to find greener, better ways to finish our fabrics.
But hold on, the story isn't over when that t-shirt lands in a store. Not even close. What happens after we've loved it, worn it, and maybe worn it out? Well, that brings us to one of the biggest challenges facing the entire industry. What do we do next? How do we give cotton a second life?
So I want to ask you something. What happens to your old clothes? It sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer is so important. Think about that favorite cotton shirt you have. When it's finally done, where does it actually end up? Okay, brace yourself, because these numbers are pretty shocking. Look at this.
A whopping 75%, 3/4 of all our textiles just end up in a landfill. And here's the kicker. Even though cotton is a natural fiber, when it's buried like that without oxygen, it starts releasing methane gas. And methane is a greenhouse gas that's way more potent than carbon dioxide. We are literally just throwing away a resource that has value.
Now, for that small 15% that does get recycled, there are basically two ways to do it. First, there's mechanical recycling. The best way to think about this is like shredding paper. You're just tearing the fabric back into tiny fibers. It's fast, but the fibers get shorter and weaker, so you usually have to mix them with new cotton. Then there's chemical recycling. This is totally different. It uses chemicals to break the cotton down to its core molecule, cellulose, and then you regenerate it into a brand new, super high-quality fiber. It's pretty amazing.
But hey, even if that old cotton can't be turned back into a t-shirt, it is absolutely not useless. It can be downcycled. That just means it gets turned into something else that's still really useful. So those old jeans of yours, they could literally become the insulation inside your walls, or the padding in your carpet, or the stuffing in your sofa. It's a much better fate than a landfill, right?
So all of this, it brings us to what's next, the future. Because with all these big challenges, there's this incredible wave of innovation happening. The goal? To create a truly circular system for cotton. A system where waste isn't something you deal with at the end, it's something you design out from the very beginning.
And that future starts right back where we began, in the field. But this isn't old-school farming. We're talking about precision agriculture. Think drones flying over fields, tiny sensors in the soil monitoring moisture, all to give the cotton plants exactly what they need and not a drop more. On top of that, scientists are developing brand new varieties of cotton that are tough enough to grow in hotter, drier climates. It's really smart stuff.
And that kind of smart thinking goes way beyond the farm. Just imagine this. Recycling centers that use infrared sensors and AI to automatically sort mountains of clothes by fabric type. Or picture a tiny digital passport on your t-shirt that tells the recycler its entire life story. It's all about building a whole new system where every single piece of clothing is designed from day one to be easily taken apart and remade into something new.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, it's kind of mind-blowing, right? You start with a seed, something completely natural, nurtured by sun and soil. It gets transformed by incredible high-tech machinery, and it ends up as a garment that could one day be chemically reborn into something new. The journey of cotton is really just this amazing story of nature and technology, completely intertwined. Which leaves us with the big, final question. With all this incredible innovation happening, can we actually do it? Can we finally close the loop on cotton? Can we design a future where our clothes never become waste? Where they're just the raw material for the next cool thing? You know, the technology is getting there. It really is. But whether we make that future a reality, well, that choice is really up to all of us.